AED/CPR instructional video. So when we arrive on the scene, obviously the first thing we're going to do is we're going to check to make sure the scene is safe before we start tending to the patient. If the scene isn't safe, we're going to take the best course of action to either remove the patient from that scene so that we can begin treating. Next, we're going to go ahead and follow our universal precautions and apply any gloves or anything like that we're going to need. Next, we're going to go ahead and check the 3 ABCs. We're going to go ahead, look, listen, and feel. We're going to watch for the chest rising. We're going to feel for breathing, and we're going to check for a carotid pulse. So we'll go ahead and do that. Once we've established that the patient doesn't have a heartbeat or is breathing, we're going to go ahead and begin CPR. And while doing so, we're also going to instruct someone that is near to go ahead and call 911 and try and get us an AED if there was one available. So while we're beginning CPR, when the AED arrives, someone is going to go ahead, whoever just came in with the AED, is either going to switch and continue CPR, or they're going to set up the AED. Either way, someone's doing CPR while the AED is being set up. So when you open the AED, it turns on automatically. And what it'll first tell you to do is to remove the patient's clothing and to apply the pads. So the easiest way to do this is we're going to use scissors. We're going to cut straight up the patient's clothing to expose their bare chest. Next, we're going to go ahead and open the pads up, and we're going to place them right on where the pictures tell you. One goes right on the chest, right on the right side. And the other goes right underneath the left armpit. The reason for this placement is it makes a crossing pattern across the heart. If the patient has excessive hair or anything like that, we do need to either shave the patient, or if there is extra pads with the AED, they work really well to place on, rip off, and then place on the new ones to essentially wax off the hair. Once the pads are in the proper position, it's going to start reading the heart. At this point, whoever was doing CPR is going to go ahead and stop. Everybody's going to not touch the patient while it reads and analyzes. Once it decides whether or not the patient needs a shock, we're going to go ahead and press the shock button. It's the big red button on the device. Again, we're going to make sure nobody's touching the patient. Apply the shock. Once the shock has been applied, we're going to go ahead and continue CPR until the AED again wants to either analyze or apply a shock. We're going to go ahead and just continue this pattern, continue, until either the EMS arrives or the patient revives or gets a heartbeat, and we will keep the AED on them so that it is analyzing constantly, telling us their vitals, and then we can also be checking vitals during this time. That's all. Thank you.